application and concealer, like blending. Before that, it was the EcoTool sponges, and I actually have some EcoTool brushes. This came in a set. I can't remember what the name of the set was, but this was perfect for when I was traveling about a week ago. It was just so nice to have, you know, you have your, does it come with your shade and your define, which is really good, like if you're wanting to kind of pack on at the crease, well, not at the crease, the outer V, I'm sorry, the outer V, or even like a liner shade, even at the bottom. And then you have your smudging, which I never really use this to smudge. And then you have your crease brush, your blending. So really cool. Piglet is playing in a bag. But normally I have been using this BH Cosmetics brush set, which I got from Ulta almost a year ago, actually. I haven't had any issues with them. I will say I never really used the foundation brush, which I believe is this 3, because it's pretty dense. I never use brushes for foundation. Like, that is very rare for me. I prefer to use a sponge. When I first started using makeup, like in college, I definitely went the route of trying to use a foundation brush, and like the ones that you get at the drugstore are typically like the flat ones, and that just, I did not like it. Some things you just realize you don't like, and that's okay. Foundation brushes are one of those things. You might realize that not all of these are BH Cosmetic brushes. This is also the Real Techniques brush set. I also got this for the purpose of travel. This is a face brush. This is the powder brush, which I actually use to apply my bronzer. Sometimes, you know, you gotta use what you have. Okay, so the video stopped recording, and I believe that I left off on me using the setting brush as a bronzing brush, which, I mean, you know, just kind of do that. Worked quite nicely. And then again, this is the crease brush, so I think that really kind of covers it for makeup tools. Now let's get into some actual makeup products that I really have enjoyed using. So as of late, I have been using the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, and what I do, wow, I think this is also turning into makeup application, because why not? So I typically just take a pump, like one solid pump. Honestly, probably don't need that much, but I like to be extra when it comes to my makeup, so, you know, here we are. I just rub that on the face, as such. Now, what I do next is take a setting spray. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, but it's also a prime, correct, and set. So you can use it for both. Wet n Wild also has a really good rosé prime set prep situation, but I wanted to try this one, so I picked this up the last time I was at CVS, and then I just zigzag all around the face. And I just realized that I applied this backwards. So I'm gonna go back in with the e.l.f. primer. Oh god, who knows? This might be a bust, but going back in. So after that, normally depending on my mood, I'm a Cancer, so it's funny that I bring up my mood while I'm talking about makeup. Sometimes I do my foundation first, other times I do my eyes first. It really just depends. With that being said, I think I'm actually just going to go for my foundation first and do a really simple eye look, because I did not think that I was going to want to apply makeup, but here we are. So, going to dampen my face sponge, and today, what do I want to use? I have a few options. I think I'm actually going to go for the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, because the other foundations that I have in here, I'm actually still kind of testing out and seeing if I really like them. I actually can say I have been enjoying this CoverGirl Outlast. It is 24 hours. I haven't worn it for 24 hours, but it can definitely last at least 8, which is what, like a third? Anyway, no, this is a super great foundation. It also has sunscreen in it, which is super awesome. But I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, as I was saying, because this is my second purchase. This is a foundation that I have repurchased. This is in the shade Golden Beige. And I think it's like less than $6. I like how it applies. It's a nice finish. It has this cool spatula. Mine is kind of bent. I don't know why. And then I'll just like go on the face. I've never really recorded myself doing. Actually, that's not true. I have recorded myself doing my makeup before. And then I'll just. If for some reason this video ends before I finish blending this, I will just come back to you with my foundation on, okay? But I just blend, blend, blend. I do go over the eyelid since I'm doing my foundation first, and then I just take all the way. Now, this definitely is, I don't think this is a matte finish. Lord help me. See, I just be using makeup that I know works for me. I don't always, like, sometimes. I did go through a huge phase where I liked really matte because, alright, so I'm realizing this is turning out to be super long. But that's okay because I don't have anything better to do on this Saturday night. Anyways, I have gone in with foundation, so next up is concealer, alright? So, this is the CoverGirl True Blend Concealer. It's supposed to be, I think, 24-hour. Is it 24-hour? It doesn't say 24-hour on here, so I'm not going to say it is. But this is in the shade Golden Natural. It has a nice doe foot applicator. I really like this applicator. I like that it's kind of thick. And then I just take concealer. I tend to lean into the triangle. I do. I know some people don't do that, but I like it. I take it down over my little Cupid's bow. And because I don't have any eyelid primer, I actually am going to use this to kind of prime my lids. Alright? And then just a little bit onto the forehead. I'm actually going to let this dry down a bit, and then what I will do is I will come back to you all with this all blended out, and we'll go from there. Alright? Okay, and so now that I've done all of my cream applications, do I want to do my eyes next, or do I want to go ahead and set the face? I think I'm going to go ahead and use some setting powder. This is the Coty Airspun, and I actually started using this because beauty YouTuber Tati Westbrook was talking about it a lot, and I was like, I've never really used setting powder before, so she's saying it's a good one. I'll try it, and honestly, it is fragrance. Like, there is a fragrance, but I don't mind it. It kind of makes me think of, like, your stereotypical grandma's house, but in that sense, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm just going to go in with this big face brush. This is number 1 from the brush set that I use, and I'm just going to go into this and, like, dip into it, and sometimes I'll just, like, try and tap onto the brush to get a pickup, and then I just go under the eye. Yeah, I will say, if you do not like heavy perfume, this is not the setting powder for you, but it works, so. Now I have it all over my hand. But then I just really tap, tap, tap. And then I just kind of like go over my face. Alright, so face is set. Probably looks like I didn't do much, but I don't care. Alright, so now let's go ahead and knock the eyes out, because that's probably like one of the largest parts. And if I'm being honest, that's the part that I'm going to have to walk through the most. So let's go. Alright, so I said let's go, and today I'm going to use, or tonight, I'm going to use this CoverGirl's Truncated Peach Punch, which honestly kind of reminds me of Too Faced. Whoa, the little applicator fell out. I don't really use these applicators. They're not bad, but once you get a brush set and you're like kind of knowing what to do with your eyeshadow, this is good for on the go. But there is better, my friend. It does smell like peaches. Now, it kind of smells like fake peach, obviously, but it's not terrible. You know, if you like scented, again, this is scented. If you don't like scented makeup, don't get this. Don't do it. Don't waste your money. There are so many other palettes that have this shade range, okay, that have these tones and does not smell like peach. Alright, so because I hit my eyelids with some concealer, I'm going to set my eye. Which brush am I going to use? Can't you see my cats have gotten to this? This is, whoa, stop trying to not like me, phone. This is number 8, and I'm just going to take this first shade all over the lid. I actually think that, oh yeah, it says Lift for Tips. I could give you the actual shade name, but that might take too long, but we're going to try. So this is Peachy Keen, which is a nice little matte shade. Doesn't have any shimmer to it. I'm just going to take it all over the lid. I'm looking away so I can actually see what I'm doing, because my phone camera isn't the same as a mirror. Surprisingly. My cats are playing in the tub. You might think I'm weird, but it's fine. They do what they want. Even though I'm their mom, they don't listen to me. Alright, so we've gotten that handled. And I'm just going to do something real simple. I say this, and then every time it turns into a smoky eye, which is why I struggle doing daytime makeup. Okay? That's why I struggle. But I know I'm on a time crunch, so now I'm going to use the Eco. Okay, so now that I have the lid set, I'm actually just going to go in with my finger, because I am actually trying to keep this simple. I'm going to go into shade 5, which is Peach Sangria. I'm just going to take my little fingertip, rub in. It kind of looks like that on the, I don't know. Y'all might not be getting a good, accurate description. I'm just gonna take my finger and go, oh, and we got some fallout, but that's okay. Rub it in, rub it in. Alright. I will say, even if you use a brush, there's going to be some fallout. Especially if you use a brush, there will be fallout. I'm not saying much now. Now I feel like you all are just going to watch me put makeup on. So, that's on. I'm going to dust off this stuff. now I'm actually going to take a brush. I'm going to take a crease brush, or blending brush. This is number 6, and as you can see, I'm going to go in with the last shade, which is Raspberry Peach. And I'm going to start with the outer V and then work my way in and just blend. And I'm just doing this to kind of add some depth. And so it's not just like one shade. Alright, so quick and my definition of simple. I don't know if I actually have it blended out well, but I can go back and touch that up. Alright, so now I'm going to do liner and mascara. Alright, so for liner today, I'm going to use the Milani Stay Matte 17-Hour Wear Liquid Liner, and I'm just going to go straight for it. And I'm going to turn away so I can see what I'm doing, as I did before, but literally nice little felt tip brush, very matte black, and then just throwing it on. 80% of the time, my liner does not look good. Today is one of those days where it doesn't look amazing. But it is what it is. Can't sweat the small stuff, alright? Just can't sweat it. And then for the other eye, just wee. Oh. Yep, there we go. This eye is a little more out there than that one, but that's normally how it happens for me. I tend to struggle on the right eye. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, let that dry down some. And for mascara, I'm going to use the Maybelline New York Lash Sensational. This is waterproof. I did not realize it. I forgot I purchased this in waterproof, which is fine. But this is in the shade, I want to say this is like Black is Black or something. Why doesn't that have... It literally doesn't say it on here, which is kind of weird, but that's fine. But this is definitely in the shade Black, and then it has this little applicator. I'm weird. It's fine. I like weird, so it works. Alright. Just applying this as so, doing a little wiggle dance on the lashes. If my phone would just cooperate, good lord. Woohoo. Okay, so now that I'm done with my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and move into bronzer and blush. And I'm actually going to show y'all how I did my bronzer just the other day. I'm going to use the setting brush by Real Techniques and go in with this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is something that I've seen a lot of YouTubers use, and I want to try it for myself. And it really does smell like summertime. Like, it smells like sunscreen, but I love it. I love it. And so I'm just going to go in, do a little bit of tap. Tap that excess off. Tap it off. Tap it off. Tap it off. Alright, let me stop. Alright, so then I just tend to go like, and just, you know, my phone like keeps kind of not stopping, but it goes black, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, are you still recording? So I'm just taking this and like doing a little bit of a contour, and I pull up. Why do you pull up? Also, that's a lot of bronzer. Lord help. How many times I'm gonna say good Lord or Lord help me in this video? I don't know. Alright, so just gonna do the other side, which for some reason is a lot harder to do when you're half turn. I don't think this is even at all, but it's fine. So, this is really strong. I'm gonna blend this out now. Alright, just blend, blend, blend. And why do you go, like, pull up? Because if you pull down, you're gonna, like, drag the makeup towards your mouth. I don't think you want that. Like, you're really trying to define your cheeks here and create, like, a nice, soft blend. Holy. This is probably the strongest contour I've ever done in my life, and I did this unintentionally. So that's exciting. We love to see it. Alright, so I also recognize that, like, probably, whoa, that's, like, strong. Like, Can't even really see it because my face is so round. Oh well. But anyway, the key is like, once you feel comfortable. Oh my gosh. It wasn't recording. Well, I just added my blush. It's probably a good thing that I wasn't recording because now I can just tell you what I did. So I added my blush, which was the Milani Color Harmony in Berry Rays, one of my favorite blush palettes to use. There are a lot of different shades in here, and it's just, I just swirl my brush in it all, and then I just go right onto the cheek. I tend to not go directly onto the apple, just to kind of leave that space open a little, and so that way it's like more of a kind of natural but dramatic flush that we have going on. So now that that's done, I'm actually not going to really do a highlight. Now I'm just going to go on with the lip. Whoa, is this going to open? I have a lot of lip products. But what I typically do is I go in with this Wet n Wild. This is in the shade Bear to Comment. I think I first saw this used by Casey Holmes on YouTube, and it really is a great liner. I'm just going to line my lips real quick. And that's poo. So I just line my lips, rub them together, do a little bit of a fill-in. And I really kind of have a thing for like a nude lip. What do I want to use? You know what? I'm actually going to use this ColourPop lippy stick in the shade Daydream. It's a matte. You just roll it up. And yes, while I used a very light liner shade, I just rub together, and there you go. My lips are done. Boom. It's honestly probably the easiest part of my makeup application. Now that I've like done everything, we can finally oh good, I think I'm actually going to finish in this video. So now I'm going to set everything with this Milani Make It Last. I'm going to do a little bit of a shaking. So I have finished my makeup. I set my face as it was getting cut off, so I couldn't finish in the last set of videos. But if you made it this far, I really hope that you enjoyed watching me just kind of relax on a Saturday night in and enjoy myself while applying makeup. This actually was kind of fun, and yeah, this is the final look. You know. Oh, I did not line. Okay, so one thing I didn't do that I don't really feel like doing right now is I normally would put mascara on my lower lash line, but I always do that after I set the face. Simply because if I do it before I set the face, normally because the mascara is still kind of wet, that setting spray will cause it to kind of like do raccoon eyes under, and I don't really want that, so yeah. It's like awkwardly pausing because also my phone is about to die, so I'm gonna say goodnight, but I hope you all really enjoyed watching this. Peace. Honestly,